program. Now that I've created this with blocks and I've chosen save or publish, either way, I can now use this elsewhere. So I'm going to switch over to Tilt Brush, but we're also going to talk about Blender and other 3D programs and how I can use these creations in those other places. So our other lessons are about building the model. This lesson is about using this model in other places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to Tilt Brush. So if we get ready, let me get you out of the way here. We're going to get ready. I'm going to switch over to Tilt Brush. Ready? And here's where all of you watching live on Twitch get to see the magic of editing. All the YouTube people, we're actually going to chop this part out. We're just going to skip straight over into Tilt Brush. But since you're watching live, you get to watch me drop out of blocks, load into Tilt Brush, and then load in the pieces we're going to need for the rest of the lesson. So those of you watching live, bear with me for just a moment. We're going to be dropping out of blocks and then dropping back into Tilt Brush itself. I'm going to leave the live camera going so that you guys can see what's going on. I'm going to leave the microphone going so if things go wrong, you can hear me cursing at the computer, that type of thing. All in good fun because it's a live stream. Okay, blocks is clear. Switching to Tilt Brush itself. Let's see if it works the first time. That would be a wonderful thing. So here we are back on screen. Here we are loading into Tilt Brush. And for all the people watching on YouTube, you'll never see this except as the edited highlight. We do have a private viewers channel. Hey, it worked beautifully. So all of you watching live get to see all this transition stuff, all my setup stuff. I'm going to switch over to our night landscape. Oh, I don't need lights. We're going to switch to our night landscape. Now I'm going to bring in a couple of reference pieces I'm going to use for the upcoming lesson. So I'm going to switch into labs. You can notice I'm signed in my user account so we can use all the poly attributes. But first I'm going to get all the pieces I'm going to need for today's lesson. So I'm going to go into more options in the labs. This is where we can get all the stored pictures and stored models. So I'm ahead of time. I'm going to get a couple of pictures preloaded. There's Castle Bonsai. We'll be using that in a moment. But I'm going to bring in some pictures that I'm going to need for today's lesson. This is all stuff that's going to get edited out for the YouTube lesson. But all you people watching live on Twitch get to see all the preparation. So we got a couple of blocks models. We're going to need the Tilt Brush version. I don't want that one. Tilt Brush version and poly versions of these windows. If I put them this way, the camera can't see them. So again, this is your behind the scenes sneak peek. We're going to be saving this as highlights on our patrons only, but all the Twitch people get to see this live and happening. Okay, so these are the pieces I'm actually going to be using for the lesson today, and I've got them hidden so you can't see them until I need them in the lesson itself, but I can see them so I know which ones I'm going to need when. Let's move you here. We got you there. Okay. Get rid of you for now. Get rid of you for now. Now, what I'm going to do is the YouTube people, we're going to get our edit. So let me get into position here. Let me get the tools I need. We're switched into Tilt Brush. I'm going to set up the cue for our editor to cut us back into Tilt Brush. And here we go. And we're now in Tilt Brush. So we've taken these models we made in blocks. Now we're in a different 3D program, and we're going to look at how we can share that model between these different programs. If you use your online account through Google using poly.google.com, I'm going to spell that out, poly.google.com, it's going to have a copy of all of your models that you can use. A regular save will keep them private so only you can use them. But a publish makes it public here. So anybody can use your model and even do some